Good afternoon and welcome to On the Spot Motorsports Media. I'm your host, Mitchell Gunter. Joining us here shortly is Robert Simpson, my co-host. We have James Thompson joining us, and also Marco Lopez is going to be joining us here shortly. But before we get into the show, we got a few messages for you.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit, we'll protect it.
Ready to take your engine to the next level? Scorpion Racing Products delivers precision-engineered, high-performance rocker arms that dominate the track. 100% CNC machined in the USA with aerospace-grade aluminum for unmatched strength and durability. Our rocker arms handle extreme conditions with multiple ratios available to fit your needs. Backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. When performance matters, choose Scorpion Racing Products. Proven, reliable, unstoppable.
Gaspar Paint Body, your premier heavy-duty body shop. Semis, trucks, boats, you name it. Nothing's too big for our body shop. Our 50-foot paint booth makes this possible. It's worth the drive, it's worth the trip. Gaspar Paint and Body.
Robert, James, welcome to On the Spot Motorsports Media. We're glad to have you. I just want to let everybody know that Marco is going to be joining us shortly within the show. But welcome aboard.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you very much for coming on, James. It's tough catching up as busy as you are, and you and Marco.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, James and also Marco, they do a podcast as well called Drag Talk Weekly. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that first. The different types of guests they've had on the podcast and who they may have coming up next.
So Drag Talk Weekly, we do our weekly show. It's on the Drag Talk Weekly page here on Facebook. It's mainly started by Marco, and I've kind of tagged along with him over the past couple of shows, and he made me co-host of it. So appreciate him doing that for me. But yeah, we do the show every week. It's at 8:00 on Thursday nights is whenever we try to do that show, and we try to talk about just a little bit of everything that goes on during the weeks of what we've got as far as racing is concerned. We had World Street Nationals over at Orlando Speed World as our local track, so that's what we try to we stick around that, but we try to tag all the goings on with every track going on throughout the state, and pretty much throughout the Southeast. We always try to go over their schedules and whatnot. Denise Renee from Orlando Speed World, she does a email list of schedules for what's going on during the week as far as any tracks are concerned. So shout out to her real quick if anybody is interested in anything that's going on as far as racing in the Southeast. You want to know, hey, wonder what Gainesville's doing this weekend, or what's South Georgia got going on this weekend, and you don't want to go to each individual website. Denise Renee here on Facebook, send her a private message. She'll get you added on to her email list. I think she said she's got over 120 contacts for that, so she's doing pretty well with it. But we go over that schedule as far as what's going on with racing here in the state and in the Southeast and all that. And we try to hit a little bit of everything. We try to hit up any heads up events, any grudge racing, bracket racing. We try to hit up pretty much a little bit of everything that we can try to hit up on. Marco's got his import following as well. So, and he's got a little bit of the grudge racing background. Knows quite a few people from that deal. So he's got that going on. I know we usually try to anybody that's gotten any major wins from any of the local bracket races or any of the major bracket races. If they're from down here, we usually try to get them on the show. But a lot of what we've been doing here lately is we do interviews with a lot of the junior drivers and their parents as well, because we have a big opinion of juniors are going to be the next big thing as far as racing is concerned, because the 16 and 17-year-old kids, some of them kids, they've been driving for several years, and whenever they get into the aging out process of juniors, most of them are going to be stepping into big cars, whether it's going to be a Pro AT type of a car or even a Super Pro dragster or something like that. So we know those are going to be the next big thing that's going to be coming up as far as any of our future. So we've done what we could to try to get a few of those drivers on. If we see anybody that's been doing very well, like I'll throw one out there right now. Kylie Makani, I think she just turned 10 years old, and she was in the novice class for the past couple of years in her category. Cleaned house at Gainesville, at Orlando, at Bradenton, 3 track championships in 1 year. That's unheard of, and all in 1 year at 3 different tracks. Those are going to be the next ones in line for us.
Yeah,
unfortunately, we're all racers, but that's what we're going to have to look forward to here in the next few years of what's going to be in the other lane. And we got our work cut out for us, because there's some of those kids that they have their act together as far as that goes.
Yeah,
but
I tell you, with her, I went out and I bought her some money bags.
Yeah, there you go.
They call her money bags. So
yep.
I got her some money bags and gave it to her. I says, now you can put all your money in these.
That's right.
Or you can just stuff them and you can use them for props.
There you go.
Victory Lane for your pictures. And
that's right.
She loved it. She loved every bit of it.
Her dad just rolled his eyes. He just went, oh, of course, Mama loved it, but he was like, "What are you doing to me?"
That's funny. That whole family, they're just racers to the core. Her grandparents, Roy and Candy Hagedorn, they're just great people and division champions from past few years, both of them. Yeah. And one year they had to run each other in the final to figure out which one was going to go out to Pomona.
I didn't know that.
They had to do that 1 year. Both of them had to run in the final.
Okay, that's the one that she won, correct?
I believe she did. Yeah.
Yeah, because he won Atlanta. Now that I think about it,
he won up in Atlanta. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh gosh, that would have been so good.
But yeah, that whole family, they're just not only are they racers, they're great people. So that's why I try to bring them up whenever I can, because they're just good folks.
I agree. I totally agree with you. And to go along with what you said about your podcast, Mitchell and I both listen in on your podcast at different times, and you're right. You cover a lot. You cover everything from, like you said, local racing to radial racing to grudge racing and to no prep and stuff like that. Just anything going on around locally, pretty much in the Southeast here. Y'all keep your pulse on that. And it was funny whenever you said, Marco, a little bit on the grudge scene. I'm like, a little bit. I don't know Marco that well, but a little bit of grudge. I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
Orlando has a lot of grudge racing.
Yes, they do.
Going on. I mean, a lot of it. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Keeps people active and action going. So
yep, absolutely. Another thing too is we try to keep up with people that are commenting and whatnot. If somebody has something to say, let's talk about it. If somebody has something that they want some sort of a topic of discussion that they want to bring up, yeah, let's talk about it. We like like having, we like going off of feedback for what people are talking about. So, if it's an open topic of discussion, drag racing related, of course, we're not going to get into any of the other stuff, but drag racing related is what we try to stick to and all that. So that's what we try to do.
Agree.
Yeah, I tell you, one of those stories that would have been remarkable this past weekend was down there at Orlando. You had Lyle Barnett that was running in 3 different classes.
Yep.
So I want to say he was was it Radio versus World LDR in X275? I think he was running.
He was driving an LDR car, and I want to say another one was. I don't think it was Pro 275, but I do think you're right, Rich. I think it was an X275 car.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. 'Cause he wasn't in a. No, I think you're right.
I'll tell you what, you put a daggum little motor on a wheelbarrow, he'll take that to victory lane.
That's a fact.
I tell you, that man, he can drive.
That's
He
a
can do
fact.
just about anything.
I actually, quick story on him. I actually met him. It was, I think, at the Drag Illustrated event at Orlando a few years ago. He's unfortunately had some scary run-ins with fires in his cars. One this year, and then one obviously everybody knows of, the one that he got really, really injured in back in, I think, 2016, something like that. I wanted to tell him next time that I ever spoke to him, I wanted to shake his hand and tell him, thank you for opening my eyes.
Yeah.
Because, we always tell everybody, safety is of the utmost importance. And I was one of those that, sure. I was one of those with the pajama bottom pants, and sometimes I wore a jacket, sometimes I didn't. I was one of those people with a car on methanol with a lap belt going as fast as the car was going at the time. But he had his fire, and wow. I went ahead. I think within that next day, I think I ordered a Dash 5 jacket, pants, gloves, shoes, the whole shooting match. I wanted to tell him thank you for that, because unfortunately this sport leads us in that direction sometimes where you don't think about it until something happens, and it happened to him, and okay, that can happen to anybody, and everybody knows it don't matter how fast you're going, fire will get involved in anything. So, but that's my quick little Lyle Barnett
video. Definitely a big advocate for safety equipment after that, and
big time.
We've had him on this podcast a couple of times, and thanked him for being an advocate and teaching people what they should be wearing while they're driving cars. Compared to just doing whatever they want to, and it really hits home now, probably with him. He's got a little boy, and there's a lot of us out there that wasn't doing what we were supposed to do, and we have kids, and our kids want us to be able to come back home pretty much the way that we left to go to the track that day.
Yep.
And just a super, super nice guy in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree. And like James was talking about, the fact is that video is out there. That video is out there when he was at Radio versus the World up at one of Duck's races when it happened. Yes. And it is, anybody that's ever worked at a racetrack or been at a racetrack, and all of us have. And so there are certain times when you experience and you see it and you just know how bad it's getting. And this was that situation. Okay, from the outside, from a novice looking at it, you don't really think that much. But from all of us who have seen it or been around it, you see and what's potentially going on. And it is very dangerous. And I'm glad he came out of it. I mean, I know he was injured, but I'm glad he came out of it. So
I think one of the biggest things that, he liked to drive home with a lot of people is that, it's not about how long you're going to be racing, eventually you're going to run into it. You're probably going to have an accident. So Marco says he's having a problem getting on.
Oh man, it's all right, Marco. James is going to take the lead. He's just going to have to talk all for you. Okay, he's just going to have to tell us all the dirty little secrets to everybody. Air all your laundry. Well, you got that sheepish grin, James, because you know where stuff's hidden. So we're not going to hold you to that entirely.
Right.
But perhaps Marco, hopefully he can get on here later. Go ahead.
And speaking of Marco, the week before the World Street Nationals, you had the imports there. Always put on a great show. A lot of records were broken. I can't remember all the classes, but I think there was one car that went 615 or something like that. Just amazing. And I know when they had the door nationals down there that West Buck put on, my dad, he came and he watched while I was down there on the wall taking pictures, and he's like, I can't believe these little 4-cylinder cars are that quick. I said, well, I said, you think about, how much horsepower they can get out of one of those motors, one of those 4-cylinder motors with a turbo, and how light they can make that car. It's very possible to see things like that, happen. And they do put on one heck of a show for spectators.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Just technology in general, as far as the electronic fuel injection and turbocharging, and just the general being able to set up a clutch in those cars and running a whatever transmission. Most of them, I think, are running a Liberty 4-speed or 5-speed in those cars. So just in general, the general consensus of being able to set something like that up, and the amount of power that those things are making with a turbocharger that's, however much boost that they're running. I've heard a couple of those cars that are running in the triple digits as far as the amount of boost that they're pumping through them. So it makes you think, well, yeah, if they are running over 100 pounds of boost, they have no choice but to get the air in and get it back out. So
no, it's impressive. And to me, the Corollas and I think the Starlines, that body style to me is the most impressive. I mean, the wheelbase is that long.
Yeah.
Okay,
and still get down with low sixes at over 200. Okay, with their combination setup is so impressive. It's like watching the World Cup up in Maryland. Okay, that's an impressive race, and the one in Orlando is an absolutely impressive race. So, like Mitchell said, I don't know all the classes and I don't know all the ins and outs, but I'm still impressed with every bit of it in the competition and stuff. But please stop with the whatever you call those horns like they use at football matches. Please.
Air horns, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, when you're 1/8 of a mile away and it sounds like they're 5 foot from you, I'm like, how is anybody in the stands?
Yeah.
Marco is actually called in since he couldn't be able to join us on the stream, but he is called in. I have him on the phone. Marco, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and sorry that you're having some technical difficulties getting on, but hey, we always improvise around here. If we can't get you on by camera, we'll at least get you on by the telephone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely, Robert and Mitchell. I appreciate you guys. I had to get on here some type of way to kind of stop James before he says all the dirty little secrets. So, I had to really find a way to get in here and say, hey, and let him stop talking right now.
Hey, it's much better that you're on phone instead of on video, because nobody wants to see your ugly face.
That's what it is. You know, I've been it's gotten darker since before. So, so like again,
This is us.
There you go.
This is Marco and I. This is us on Thursdays.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I know. We see that's
So.
the deal, James. He wasn't going to let you. He wasn't going to let you by yourself with an open mic. He wasn't going to do that. So
definitely not.
Don't get me started.
There you go, Marco.
Well,
but now, go ahead, Mitchell.
Marco, we was actually talking about y'all's podcast at first, that y'all do, Drag Race Weekly, and talk a little bit about what y'all do as far as bringing guests on. And one of the things I like what James told me is actually getting with the young kids that are running junior dragsters and put them in front of a camera. For one, they get to talk about a sport that they really love, but it also gives them opportunity to get comfortable being in front of a camera. So later on in life, when someone sticks one in their face and ask them questions, they're more comfortable in doing so. And I think that's a really very important thing that we need to do with our sport is to get those young kids ready, because, we never know. They might not just be the stars of ET bracket racing at their local track, but they can come and be able to be someone like Sean Langdon that went through the junior dragster program, Erica Enders, Justin Ashley being around drag racing at a very young age. So I think it's, very important to do so.
No, 100%, 100%. And I started Drag Talk Weekly. I've had other podcasts, been doing kind of podcasts here and there, and nothing really, really stuck out to me from what I was doing. I did Import Hour. I've done OSW Live when I was working for Orlando Speed World. I've done several podcasts, and I try to always give the opportunities to other people that are not in the limelight, or not your regular bracket racers or pro stocks or, top sportsmen or anything like that, and try to give the little guys. I mean, I started on the bottom. I started with a 19-second car and, got my car all the way to 9 seconds. So I really know what it is to work hard and try to get in the limelight and try to make a name for yourself. So throughout my 35-year career or stuff of racing, I started Drag Talk Weekly about probably a year ago. And I needed a co-host because I do work a lot. And James came around and, I said, James, you're doing announcing, help me out. Before I did co-host with Mr. Tibb or anybody, a couple of the grudge guys, anybody wanted to come on. But again, I focus on my school that I do also, which is Junior X Driving School, and it's a school for junior dragsters. I teach them how to get into the sport. I have over 30 students thus far. A couple of the Kellogg's, the young kids, Ryder, Deegan Kellogg, they've actually won his first Wally at Night of Fire in Gainesville when you guys were over there when I met you guys.
Yes,
that's cool.
That's cool. One of my students for that, and I'm very proud that I was able to help launch them into the junior world. And now they're full-blown junior dragster racers. They're 2 times, 3 times track champions. They're won a Wally, So it makes me proud to feel that I've given to the next generation of the sport, and I actually trained some to come in.
And that's a very important thing to keep our sport going, is bringing younger people in, either as kids and junior dragsters, or even having a young man, young lady up in the stands and saying, you know what, I would like to do that. That's one of the reasons why I really, really like NHRA coming out with Junior Street. Kids that are not able to, afford to get in a junior dragster, they can actually race mom and dad's car with them in the car, and teach them how, of course, the rollout's very important to learn in a bigger vehicle compared to a junior as well. And we do have several junior drivers that run in both classes. And it's about drawing that interest in on these young men and women to keep our sport going.
Definitely, 100%. And I feel that I have a unique opportunity as a track official throughout a bit of my career, from Lakeland Drag Strip, CFRC, Orlando Speed World, South Georgia, and so on, and met so many people in the industry that I want to give back. So with starting the Junior X driving school was one of my ways of giving back. Also, now that I'm in the opportunity and God has blessed me with Leadfoot City, we are taking it one step further and implementing Power Wheels, starting them at 2 years old, 5 years old, and started drag racing with the Power Wheels, which I'm going to be bringing a program also with Achilles Thomas, the owner of Leadfoot. He has Leadfoot University, where we will be teaching the next generation of racers, bracket racing, heads up racing, junior dragsters, Power Wheels, drifting, you name it. We're going to try to change and put our foot in what you call it, history.
Right. And actually, I have actually seen one other track that does the Power Wheels, and man, it is just the coolest thing to see those young kids out there and watching the tree drop and them taking off. And boy, they really think there's something at the end of the day, and I think it's really, really cute for them. But at the same time, like you said, they're also learning the basics of drag racing at a very young age before getting into juniors. And I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to you implementing that program at Leadfoot City, and hopefully it will, grow.
God willing, right now we're looking for Power Wheels. I just got one from Rebecca Lacard. She actually donated the first Power Wheels Jeep that Wyatt was using. So Wyatt is another junior dragster, another student of mine that started in the Junior X driving program. That he's one to watch.
That's really good, Marco. We appreciate you coming on tonight. I know your work schedule is long, very, very long and hard. So we appreciate you squeezing in, because I know you run around like a wild man. You being the new track manager of Leadfoot City, but I wanted to tell you thank you for starting the junior class, the junior school like you're doing. We met somebody from Australia, and she's starting a junior school over there because they don't have one. Okay, so the fact that you took it upon yourself, and I knew you from somewhere. It was from Lakeland, and I was trying to place
Lakeland Director, yep.
I was like going,
where?
Right. And I'm like trying to place it, Marco. Anyway, that's where it was, from Lakeland. Okay, but what I'm saying is, I appreciate it, and I know others do too. You taking the time and all that stuff to put a school forward for junior dragsters, like you said, to help with the next generation of racers. And I can't imagine the big wheel racing. I think is what you said. That right there is going to have a larger crowd.
Big wheel was our ages back when we were young.
Oh, I know. Where was it? And I'll tell you this much: you're going to have a bigger crowd than you are with the golf cart races. Okay, you're going to have more people hanging out up there. You're going to have more people wagering on right or left and stuff like that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
That is going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
And oh my goodness! And we were telling James about the podcast that y'all have together and about what y'all are covering. But I wanted to tell you thank you for that, because y'all are also reaching. We do our best to reach all kinds of racers, and it doesn't matter. But we're starting with locals and branching beyond that too, but definitely keeping local and recognizing locals for all their hard work and their accomplishments.
Yep.
And and I don't think people realize, like you said, your racing history and James's racing history. Y'all two got a very, very good long racing history down here in the Southeast.
I got a quick story though. I really look at a quick story.
I know what he's gonna say. I know where he's going.
Go ahead.
So me and James go way back. We're real good friends. We've been racing together. He's whooped my butt on I know, James. I know you're probably thinking about, okay, what's he gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say. Anyway,
I know what you're gonna say.
Me and James we've been bracket racing for a long time. He's always whooped my butt. We were on one point. Orlando Speedway was IHRA, and and one point Orlando Speedway was IHRA, and we had a Nitro Jam live on TV. You know, and it was real good. So me and James are going through the field. Okay, James goes in and Pro ET and goes and wins Pro ET. Lo and behold, he's in the finals of Sportsman with me. So me and him, and I've been going through the field, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been holding numbers all day. Car wasn't really running great, so I was playing the games as we bracket racers do, you know. So right. And I got up with James, and he's already won Pro ET, and I'm in the finals with him for Sportsman for an Ironman, no doubt, on live TV at my home track. So really, really good stuff. And I'm telling James, I'm looking at him and say, you know what? I'm going to race you honest, because if I'm going to win this Ironman, I'm going to dial honest. I'm not going to play the games. I'm not going to play the tricks. And I'm going to race you honest. I want to win this one for the right way. Boy, was that a mistake. Listen, this Chevelle that shouldn't even been inside Sportsman. And if you know Rusty, we call him Rusty Pro Mod, because this man actually has a big block inside that Chevelle. I don't know what he's telling y'all. It's a lie. I swear to God. There's pictures to prove it. He has a big snorkel on it. Okay, go to his Facebook page. You'll see it. So anyway, I lose, and this man walks away with 2 Ironmans and shoves it in my face all the time. But you know what?
Do not.
I did it the right way. I'm happy.
Woo! Hey, I'm glad you don't hold a grudge, Marco.
So in my defense on that one, I put one picture up on Facebook because I was pulling the motor out of my car. I think I broke a rod in one of my motors. I put one picture up on Facebook where my right hand man Kevin Helton, he's my savior. Anytime I've got an issue with my car, he's with me day in, day out. Anytime I've got a stupid idea, sure, let's do it. He's an expert body man, so he knows all the tips and tricks especially on GM cars, on how to take the front end off without having to pull the core support off and pull each fender off and whatnot. He can get it off in one piece, taking it off at the firewall. So I put one picture up where it looked like my car was up on jack stands and it had the front end.
Fenders in
Shut up.
Everything comes out.
Shut up. It looks like it had a one-piece front end nose on it, but it's all steel. You know, my car's still a big, heavy pig, all steel sheet metal on it, but it looked like it had a one-piece front nose on it. I made the mistake of posting it on Facebook that day of pulling the motor out of it. This jackass. It says, "Hey, that looks like a Chevelle Pro Mod car." That was
and Jericho's car
10 years ago, at least.
Out the exact same way. Pulls out the fenders and everything the exact same way.
Whatever.
So he just has 4. He has 4 pins in it. Is that what you're trying to say, Marco? That's it. 4 pins in his gun.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
And racing Sportsman with a Pro Mod. Yeah, that's what it is.
I got you. He just needs the button to back up. I got you.
and full disclosure on that day, my car would run 1140s, but I had to dial 1150 because that was Sportsman cutoff. So, yeah. Insurance policy there again, you know.
I mean, hey, it's 11 flat now, and I guarantee you can run 1070s. So
it'll go 1080s right now. Yeah.
You say I wasn't far. Wasn't far.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car is under 9, so.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute.
One more thing, guys. If I may, Robert, if I can, one more thing.
There's
also a guy here in Orlando, Lenroy Cameron, that started a junior dragster school also in St. Croix, and he goes back over to St. Croix Islands and teaches a junior dragster class. probably about 6 or 8 junior dragsters and shipped it over to St. Croix Island. Also, he has 3 kids that race junior dragsters in Orlando area, Bradenton. Also, they just brought a whole team, all the cars back from St. Croix for Sport Compact and Orlando Speed World, and they had over 120 junior dragsters from all over Puerto Rico, St. Croix, Dominicans, everywhere.
That came to Orlando?
That came to Orlando just recently.
Oh my goodness!
Within the last month. And man, that's something that I try to put out there that nobody else really, West Buck or nobody else really covers or tries to. And I wish I had a more stage presence like West Buck, Drag Illustrated, in order to put that out there. But our Spanish or Latin community does put that out there on their Facebook pages, on other talk shows. But yeah, there was over 120 junior dragsters at the Sport Compact Nationals in Orlando Street World, and nobody really talks about that, and it kind of sucks, honestly. You know?
I agree. I totally agree with you, and I'm all for promoting it and encouraging it, stuff like that. I have to be honest with you though. After about the 15th or 20th pair, I start getting a headache. Okay, it's just the sound of it. The only thing that compares is a Pro Charger with Zoomies. I mean, that's it. Or a rotary with no muffler. That's about the only thing. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we all say that all in joking, of course. You know what I mean? But but I tell you, that's good that somebody else does a class for junior dragsters. I had no idea, and that's great. That's great that the community is that involved with it and that supportive of it. And then to send that many over here. Oh my gracious.
Yeah.
I don't even know the logistics of how you could do that.
We have here, I think we have just in Orlando area, I think we have close to about 32 now, roughly, that really doesn't run NHRA bracket points. I mean, they'll do it in Orlando, but some of them will go to Bradenton and run their point stuff over there. They were there for drag race for a cure, I believe, and the other points race that they just had in Bradenton. There were several cars there, but yeah, there's a big following for junior dragsters in the next level of it right now.
That's good. That's good. I like it. I mean, it's a great, like you said, it's our future. And speaking of both of y'all being busy, James, I know you're busy. I mean, the last time I saw you was a couple of weeks ago at Gainesville, but you got a business a new adventure that you're doing right now. What is it? I mean, what is it all that you do?
Yeah, so Shark Bite Racing Fuels is my new venture I just got started with this year. Basically, Jeff Kittles runs Modern Racing Fuels. He's from down here in Florida as well, and I'm one of his retailers, if you will. So I'm in the Volusia County, that's Daytona Beach, New Smyrna, that area of the state over on the East Coast. And I try to supply for racing fuel for pretty much anybody that needs it around here. We've got Robert Sellers is a longtime top sportsman runner. He runs the fuel that we have for, it's a 122 octane nitrous fuel that we run for in that car. We are really close to a circle track. New Smyrna Speedway is where I'm based out of. We've got a couple of our circle track guys that run our fuel. That's some of the classes that they run out there. They have to run a spec fuel for them supplied at the track, but there's other classes like open wheel modifieds and stuff like that they can run. As long as it's within the parameters of the octane rating, they can run whatever brand they want. So we've got a few guys that are running that fuel there as well. Methanol, E85, fuel that ranges from 110 octane up to, like I said, the 122 octane fuel. We have all of that. We try to keep it all in stock. I try to see what the local market is as far as what the demands are, because that fuel, you don't want to keep it sitting on the shelf forever. You want to be able to rotate it out as much as you can. So we try to keep the local market as far as what they want the most of. We try to keep that in stock, and we're able to sell that and at least keep the good rotation for that as well. But yeah, Sharkbite Racing Fuels, or Sharkbite Fuels and Racing. If you want to check out my page on Facebook, so I'll go ahead and put that out there. Sharkbite Fuels and Racing. Check that out. Like I said, Modern Racing Fuels. Jeff Kittles was the owner of that operation, and I work with him pretty much every day. Even as far as anybody that's got any tech questions, as far as hey, I've got this car, makes this much power, makes this much compression. What fuel do I recommend? And I can usually get them in the right direction. But if there's even something that I'm not sure of, Jeff's a phone call away, and I can give him a quick call and get his recommendation on it as well. But yeah, that's what we're doing. I do 55-gallon drums, or do the 5-gallon pails. That seems to be a little bit more popular because it's easier to handle. Plus you keep a fresher stock that way too, because once you start with a drum, you have to pretty much start using it right away, because that's the expiration date starts as soon as you go on the drum. So
friend does Royalty the Pro Mod run. Just asking for a friend.
There you go.
I run methanol.
There you go. Is that the answer you're looking for, Mark?
Is that what you wanted? Is that really? I got to email you a picture, Robert.
Yeah.
My friend Marco here, he loves to Photoshop.
Oh, gee.
Yes.
What you got? What you got? Come on, talk to me.
He photoshopped a Hemi screw blower sticking through the hood of my car. It actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. It looks good. It's really cool looking. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so you got a screw blown Hemi on a stop.
You take something and you run with it. So
I got you.
But luckily I'm a really good sport about it, and
clearly.
James, I got a question. Isn't Volusia closing? Isn't that track going away? Is it Volusia? I seen that one of the tracks were closing.
So I know Volusia. As far as there's a Volusia Speedway Park dirt track. As far as I know, that one's staying open. I know they just closed East Bay down in Tampa.
Yes, it was East Bay. Yes.
Yeah, East Bay down in Tampa. Yeah, they just ran their last. Yeah. They ran their last event. I don't know what the logistics were on that, but
well, that might help you on your fuel, because they're going to be looking for a place to race, and they may just come up that way.
You never know.
And race at New Smyrna.
Well, now you're busy with the fuels, but you also got a side deal. I've known you for years. You like to talk on a microphone.
Yeah, bracket racing's been my thing for years and years, and since Motor Mania was one of the major starters of showing bracket racing on the internet.
Right.
Jared Pennington was one of the stars from the beginning, as far as his announcing style and being able to explain without even looking at a pair of cars going on the track. He was able to discern reaction times, dial-ins, finish line, win light margins, and that sort of stuff.
Right.
I caught on to it, and I was just a fan of. I could listen to him for hours on end, just being able to hear the numbers and whatnot.
Right.
My good friend Marco here, he gave me the opportunity a few years back at Orlando. He was doing some announcing at the track, and he said, "You feel like talking for a little bit?" I said, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." And just kind of cold turkey, he just kind of shoved the microphone in my face, and I started talking a little bit, and I think I was kind of an auctioneer. I was kind of speaking kind of quickly for a little while, but I kind of learned, hey,
calm down,
calm down, you're fine, and just kind of started off from there. And Bradenton has me full time as their bracket race announcer, so I think this is the 4th year in a row that I announce all of their bracket races. Anybody that needs announcing assistance once in a while, I've been up to South Georgia a couple of times this year for Raul Torres and those good folks up there for help them out on a couple of their bracket weekends. Was just over at Gainesville just a couple of weeks ago for their Night of Fire event. So pretty much anybody that's got any sportsman class racing that they need an announcer for, I'll be glad to give it a shot. So.
Well, speaking of that,
I've had a lot of good opportunities. Announced during World Fur Break Challenge at Bristol, Tennessee. That was a pretty cool deal for me. Rob Reynolds, he had me working a couple of his New Year's Nationals events. I always try to go up there once in a while and fill in for the guys if I'm not working for them or whatnot. I always try to go up there just to fill in and give them a hand with it. But going back to the Jared Pennington thing, that's kind of what started it for me, was listening to his style and knowing, that's exactly what we want to hear. Is we want the numbers. He has that style with a little bit of humor thrown in and whatnot too. So that's always a good thing to have. So I don't want to say I've copied him, but a lot of his cues and whatnot I've started doing myself and all that. So seems to have gone over pretty well. I always try to do a Facebook Live video of it once in a while I'm there announcing. I'll put the phone up to the window of the tower and just yak away for a little while and whatnot. So
yeah,
but it's always quarterfinals, semifinals, final rounds. Those are always the better rounds, because everybody by then they've got their delay boxes set and their dial-ins are pretty close. So it's always good racing, especially at Bradenton. There's hardly anybody there that's you want to stay away from. So
yeah, that's a real that's a really, really deep pool, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
But
Big time.
You're right. I've heard your live feeds from Bradenton through the classes and stuff like that. Like you said, typically quarterfinals, semifinals on, and other things like that. And you're right. Now that you mention it, I did not think about you mirroring Pennington. His style. He's got a very relaxing style, and that gives you the numbers and gives you the information just like you do. And it just didn't dawn on me. I was just thinking that's just you, which it is. I know it is just you, but picking up a style. So that's good. So you're definitely busy between the fuel and the announcing. That alone, my gracious, man. And then you're going to be coming out again this year. You're going to bring in the car out later this year, I believe, correct?
Getting my car back out. I had a couple of health issues I went through over the past couple of years, and it's time. I miss, like I said, I tell everybody I miss that bucket of bolts, and but yeah, we'll be getting the car back out. It kind of got a demothball it. We kind of had it in storage for a little while, so just kind of got to go through the motor, pull the plugs, and all that stuff, and make sure everything is good to go there. But coming back out,
fuel lines and everything. Yeah, promos are.
There it is. I was wondering if you're still on there, Marco.
Are you still on the phone?
Come on.
Marco, what he needs to do, Marco, he needs to get him a sticker made, a decal that says "My car identifies as a pro mod."
I like it.
I'm gonna get them now. Now that you said it, I'm gonna go make that. I got a friend that does stickers.
Go ahead. I was gonna do it too.
Hey, Marco, do it, Ricky Bobby style. Put it across the whole windshield. Hey, Marco, do it Ricky Bobby style. Do it across the whole front windshield, the whole thing.
Big Newtons.
just across it. Just leave him one little hole to see out of, and that's all he needs. But
he won't be able to pull it out because then half the quarter will come out with a rust with it. So
that's so wrong. That's so wrong. It's okay. He'll run it over the railroad tracks a couple times. He'll get it shook out.
That's right.
So he'll get it good. But
Hey,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, Marco, when we come back after this commercial break, we would like to dive in a little bit into Leadfoot City and talk about things that are fixing to happen there, and all the things that y'all offer. It's not just going to be drag racing. So everyone, bear with us. We'll be right back after this message.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit. We'll protect it.
Again, I want to thank everyone joining On the Spot Motorsports Media tonight. We have Marco Lopez and James Thompson with us, and we're diving into their podcast and also Leadfoot City, which is a new facility that they have been working on here for a little while. And it's not just going to be drag racing. There's going to be all different types of things that's going to be happening there. And Marco, I wanted you to kind of dive into that and tell us, of course, y'all got a opening coming up pretty soon, what that's going to be like. And also, I think y'all have a burnout pit or something. Y'all thinking about doing drifting there as well. So a lot of moving parts.
yes, definitely. It is literally going to be the mecca of all motorsports here in the state of Florida. Anywhere between, again, from power wheel racing, juniors, drag racing, drifting, burnout competitions, RC cars, RC boats. We have a little lake that's being formed, so we can Lake Leadfoot. There's concert halls. You can use the facility. You can rent the facility for weddings. Any YouTubers and stuff that can rent the facilities for content, parties. There's several bathrooms. There's several inside AC unit restaurants. It is going to be the mecca of all facilities in the state of Florida. It's not just drag racing, not just drifting. There's concerts can be done. That will be done. There's car shows, swap meets, you name it. If you can think about it as an automotive theme, it will possibly be done at Leadfoot City. I'm excited for the chance that Achilles Thomas, the owner, and bestowed on me to be the track manager. We're working on great things right now, and I can't really disclose a lot, but there will be something big news coming out soon that will change drag racing in a whole in itself. And I think it's just going to be great for the community around Brooksville, state of Florida. We are going to do no prep racing. We will be doing a lot of street, keeping kids off the street programs. Definitely that. Focus heavily on that. If you haven't already seen some of the pictures or some of the videos that Achilles has done throughout the several year or so, we're going to be street lights. There's actually street light trestles over the track that's going to mimic the streets per se. And we're going to be going off stoplights, same porter tree, but we'll also be going off street lights. So something very unique to keep the flow of the street racing, but make it safe on the track, as a lot of tracks try to do with their street heats and their 1320s and stuff like that. we're actually going to have a full-blown dedicated days and nights to getting people off the streets and educating that you can come here, even though it's an 8th mile, you can come here and get your adrenaline off, and in a safe, protective area where you don't have to worry about potentially hurting somebody on the streets and killing them.
Yeah, we've all heard and read the horrible stories and stuff in the newspaper and seen things on the news. I know a few years back, I want to say it was in Orlando or Sanford or somewhere down there. A young man was racing another guy in a car, and he ended up hitting a car in front of him, couldn't stop, ended up hitting that car, and come to find out it was his mother that was in that other car and killed her. So, horrible stories like that, they don't need to be done on the street. They need to be done in an environment, a safe environment where you have EMS there to take care of if something does happen. Street racing, to go ahead and put it out there, it used to be a misdemeanor. A few years ago, they have made it a felony, and that felony is that you can spend I want to say 6 months in jail, and you lose your license for 2 years the first time.
First time, yep.
Yep. The next time it's even worse, and you may not even get your license back. So why even take the chance and do that on the street? If someone pulls up beside you at the light and say, "Hey man, you want to run it to the next light?" Say no. If you want to run me, let's go out to Gainesville or Leadfoot City or Orlando when they have their time trials or testing tunes, and do it there.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Be smart about it.
Yeah. People don't realize that you can grudge race your buddy.
Everybody's tracks closing down throughout the country from California all the way even to Florida. We're losing Immokalee here in Florida, which really sucks for a lot of people in that area.
It does, especially with West Palm being gone. And yeah, you're right. There's nothing Central Florida down anymore like the used to be. But it's horrible. Hey, tell us something, Marco. Where is Leadfoot City located?
Leadfoot City is in Brooksville. Literally, it's 2 hours from Gainesville, 2 hours from Bradenton, and 2 hours from Orlando. Right above Tampa, and Brooksville, Florida, Weeki Wachee area. I'm not too much familiar with the area because I'm usually from Orlando. I'm from Orlando, so I'm still learning the area. So above below Ocala, I guess. Just trying to look it up. I don't know. I don't need to be Googling for everybody. Everybody use Google. Look up Leadfoot City. Go to leadfootcity.com and check it out, man, because it's going to be wild. There is a membership fee, and let me get into this a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted you to
That's where I was going.
And discuss
I was
it.
going to go there too. Go ahead.
People doesn't take change very well, okay? And it's a country club. You have to be a member. You got to pay your dues and stuff like that. Casco or Sam's Club, you have to be a member in order to go and buy bulk food or anything like that. So, and at that, you got to give up you show your ID and you sign up and you have to pay like $100 or whatever. Leadfoot City is a membership club type atmosphere that we're trying to create there. And there's two ways you can be a member. There's a citizen where you can pay for amenities as discounts for food, merchandise, private rentals, tech cards, early purchasing of event tickets, or there's a free one. It becomes a tourist. So it's either one you can get, and the free one is just signing up, giving an email for we can send you information, showing your ID for we know who's coming on property, and signing the waiver. It's the exact same thing as you go to Bradenton or anywhere else to sign a waiver to race. So and you only have to do it one time.
Okay.
You sign the waiver and you're done for the year. We have your information. And we really want to know who's on property. And we want to be able to cater to your needs as a automotive enthusiast. We want to be able to hear from you and get real feedback. You know, not just Joe and Schmo coming in and posting negative stuff on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere, because you're gonna get that no matter what. But the special part of it being a member is getting those extra amenities, you know, being treated like a person, not just a dollar sign.
Right.
Okay. So the misconception that I've heard, and I thank you for clarifying, Marco, is some people are trying to put out there that there is a sign-up fee required before you can actually go to the track, and you just explained that's not the case. And so I appreciate you clarifying that.
I ended up doing the tourist thing as well. I signed up just like he explained. Copy of your driver's license, just so they know who you are, and it's not like it's going to go to the state or anything like that. It's just to have it on record for there.
Party or anything like that. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what's out there too, you know.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I signed up. They gave me the notification by email. Hey, you're approved. Welcome aboard, and they gave me my confirmation password and whatnot. So I'm able to go into the go over a couple of things for you're able to access the schedule now whenever you're a member of the track and all that. Marco, go ahead and go through that too.
Yeah, it's the same way as signing up for Netflix or anything like that. You know, you're gonna get a code, you get an email, you get a you can use it on the mobile app. You know, you're gonna be able to come in and scan. If you can purchase your tech cards online, and we'll have your information. So all you got to do is come to the gate, show your mobile app that we give you, that you sign into, and we'll see that you purchased the card, the tech card, you purchased the day, and you just go on in and go and unload. You don't have to go to get your waiver signed. You don't have to go down the end of the track to get teched in. Tech is going to be primarily self-tech type. I've been tech director at Orlando for many years, and I'm a NHRA tech inspector. So I know what I'm looking for if I have to tell you, hey, you got to fix this. You can't race here until you fix this.
Right.
And that's the way it should be everywhere. You know, a lot of the places, of course, bigger events, we're going to be, looking more closely for weights and stuff like that. But other than that, man, it's going to be a place where you're going to be told about it, and you're going to hate yourself for not being a member.
You know, you bring up a important part about the teching and stuff. You know, used to a lot of tracks would allow you to tech in at the beginning of the year, and they'll give you a sticker, and it'll go on your windshield, and they know that your car is, the way it's supposed to be. And so you would not have to continue teching that car in at every single race. And basically, it's pretty much kind of like the same thing. You know, you're just, if you see something, you're going to go tell them, hey, you can't make no more passes. You're running too fast. You got to have a cage in the car. Or, hey, you got to get some new tires. Some things are on down to the nitty gritty.
Sparky Spark in the water box.
And the commission went away from tech stuff. They're doing self-tech also with their tech cars when they free up, So it just follows suit. And I think that if everybody pays attention to it, I think tech would be a lot safer, and a lot of people would be a lot safer if people helped out. Instead of saying that, oh, I don't want to snitch, or I don't want to be called as a tattletale. Listen, that's your life in the next lane with somebody that you feel that cars might be sketchy. It's just really not snitching. You really got to tell an official if something's wrong. I don't know how many years I've been doing this, and people will say, hey, Marco, that guy's, he got no brakes in the back, or, and I say, thank you. I don't say, hey, that guy told me, hey, that guy snitched on you and told me that you got to go. No, I go to the guy and I say, hey, let me check your car.
Tim Goolsby says, you wear a helmet every day.
Tim knows I'm special.
So he basically Tim saying you're walking around with bubble wrap on. You're walking around with bubble wrap on. That's what he's trying to say. You know what I mean?
Listen, you gotta have thick skin to be in this game. I tell you what.
Oh yeah, clearly, man. Geez, hanging out with James and all that. Geez, I mean, and others. But
so is James going to do some announcing for you?
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna have James Thompson out there. Of course, that's a given. Thanks for putting me on the spot. What if I wasn't gonna hire him? I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
I would say you're welcome, Marco, but you can't see us right now, so I'm sorry.
No,
hey, but Marco,
definitely James is going to be over there on the mic with me and having some fun. And like I tell you guys got to go to leftfootcity.com, sign up as either a tourist, which is free, or get on the paid membership. You guys are not going to regret it. It's going to be great times, and I guarantee you that if you wait a year, you waited too long to be part of this.
Well, Marco, let me ask you a question. Let's just say, because I know a couple racers, let's just say they're older generation racers who aren't as savvy as far as they don't do Facebook, they don't do internet. You get the idea. So I take it they'll still be able to access Leadfoot City, or do they need somebody else to sign them up to put their name and information in your system first?
You know what? Either way, because we had a gentleman actually come in today that we actually helped sign up. He actually came into the facility. We got him his ID. We got him set up with an account and everything, and actually walked him through and helped him. So we are essential to come in and let us help you get on that program and get the tourists the free membership in and get your membership done. You can also go with your family as a family and sign up, and as a head of household type deal. There's also that option, but all the information and all the videos are at leadfootcity.com, and you can go through and see all the information before you even make your decision. And it kind of walks you through the steps by videos. So, for the old timers like us, that, are kind of stubborn of changing, things that got to change in order to make things better and safer. And that's what we're going to provide. We're going to provide a safe environment and a safe environment to have some fun. And I'm telling you right now, don't read about it, be about it.
Right.
That's why we have you here to help explain and clarify things that we all agree upon. And we thought that we didn't think this made sense. Some of the rumor mills I've read, and you know how it goes. And they're like, that just doesn't make sense. So that's why going to the head of the stream, so to speak, and getting clarification, that helps a lot. Well, I appreciate it, Marco. We all do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your time on the show. I also got another podcast to do, a Spanish-speaking podcast with the import crowd coming up here next at around 9:30. So I appreciate you guys, and you guys are a blast. I watch the podcast every now and then I can. You guys kind of give me ideas too, for me and James to do a good show. We on Thursday at 8 o'clock ish, whenever I can get on. Sometimes I don't, but we're gonna have Zach from Scorpion Racing, which is a sponsor for the bracket program at Gainesville. We will have him and talking about Scorpion products.
You're gonna like talking to him. He's a good guy. He's just a laid back guy, and you'll like talking to him. We've been trying to talk to him about James. You'll appreciate this, setting his car up so he can double enter it. It's got an iron head. It's got an iron head big block in it now and gas, and we're like going, you can do a couple things, and I know you can help him out on that too, Marco. What's that? Go ahead, Marco.
No, that's good. That is awesome, man. And we love double entering. James knows about double entering. I triple enter on some imports if I can. It's kind of hard for me right now. I won't be back racing for a little bit, but leadfootcity.com, guys. Bracket racing, index racing coming, grudge racing, no prep, street style, everything drifting, Power Wheels, RC cars, RC boats, you name it. Leadfoot City is going to be the new talk of the town, and stay tuned for big news coming.
One more thing I wanted to bring up about the membership as well, as far as doing the pay thing. You can pay for the whole year, or you can do month to month as well.
Yes.
So
Sir.
if you're
a lot of options.
So if you want to do the citizen membership, but you just want to feel it out, just kind of want to check everything out and whatnot, pay for a month or pay for 2 months and check out all the amenities. And if that's something that you want to do, you can either extend that or pay for the whole year that way as well.
Okay, good options. Good options.
Robert and Mitchell, I would like to extend a invitation for y'all two to come down. Y'all two, what the heck was that? Y'all two, what kind of language is that?
Hey,
Puerto Rican.
You've been listening to me.
You're talking that southern slang there.
That's Southern. That's what it is. I moved up to Brooksville and I started yum to
My wife gets on me all the time. It just slips out. It does. It's all right. That means you're adapting,
Mark.
Mark.
You guys over to Leadfoot City on the 23rd, Saturday at noon. Come check something out special. Be my guest.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Saturday the 23rd November, correct?
Yes, sir. And 2
Of
weeks.
course. It wouldn't be December. Sorry.
Next week, not this weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah. Sorry, I was smacking
And
my
if
own
you're a
stuff.
member of Leadfoot City, it'll be on the event page.
Like it.
Okay.
Like it. Okay. All right.
Only,
We'll see what we
only
can do.
members can see the events. How
Oh,
it's
wow.
exclusive.
Well, I tell you what, when you're ready to break that news, if you're okay with it, we will break it with y'all and share it as much as we can. If that's able to be done that way, we'll share it on our page and also post it on other racing pages on Facebook.
We'll
No, definitely. How I can't really say, but
It's okay.
It'll be coming out of.
It's okay. Nope.
Hey,
No
we're
pressure,
patient. We can
Marco.
wait.
We ain't doing that to you,
It
man.
won't even be on my page first. Put it that way. It's something else that is going to be the industry page. Put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
I got one other question before you go. Any of y'all were thinking about going to the PRI show that's happening
No
next
comment,
month?
sir. Sorry, no comment. I have no comment on that subject, sir. No comment. I appreciate you.
Dang, man, it's not like you owe somebody money. Jeez.
No comment, sir.
Hey, we put you on the spot.
You see that?
I have no comment. I appreciate it, guys. Great show, James. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
You too,
Take
Marco.
care,
You
Marco.
take
We
care.
appreciate it, buddy. Oh,
Yeah, there
man.
goes Marco.
James, how can y'all get through a podcast, man, going bantering back and forth like that?
He gets on these tangents, and I gotta go, whoa.
Bring it back.
Sometimes family show, family environment.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you gotta do that to him as well. But he's a trip. I met him when he was a manager at Lakeland Drag Strip. That's where me and him met at.
Right.
That was always the go-to place for the Bradenton crowd and the Orlando crowd. Whenever we weren't racing during our regular season, Lakeland was always open every Saturday night. So pretty much from November through January, February, that's pretty much where we went racing at. And as far as that goes, you saw all the Bradenton haters. They came over to Lakeland as well, and those were some good lessons. Good lessons in the other lane that way too. So
that's a place I always wish I could run. My dad ran it years ago, but I always wish I could run that one. Just because the history that was there and all that stuff, and I was always told it had that down home feel.
it did.
And I'm like, I miss that. I miss that. And that's why, I miss Green Cove just for that reason by itself.
Yeah.
And, there's something to be said about having a smaller track. Some people knock it, but I don't believe in that. I believe you support a track no matter where.
100%.
How big or how small, and the small tracks you can have just as much fun and hard lessons.
I got to go to Jacksonville the last year that it was running. Because everybody said it's closing. I said, I'm going. I gotta go at least once just to say that I went there and all that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did.
That was my home track I started at and worked at and stuff like that. So you probably didn't have a problem with the shutdown, but you probably
not at the time.
Yeah, but I know you found a couple of the potholes
just
past the traps. I know you found those. And a couple of that, but man, it's the same thing. That little track had an unbelievable history, and man, I miss it. I know everybody around here misses it just because. But like you said, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
That's it.
It's very true. But I tell you, y'all two are busy between your Drag Talk Weekly podcast every Thursday at 8 that y'all two put on, to Marco being the track manager at the new Leadfoot City, plus having Junior X. Junior,
Eric, you're correct.
Oh yeah.
Or you end up out on the roundy round.
Yep. Turn four. And Derek's and yours and mine were a little more bearable than the chassis cars, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At Jack's, that is. But back to what I was saying to Marco having the junior dragster school there in Orlando, to you having the Shark Bite Fuel and Racing business going, providing all the different racing fuels that you do, and also the announcing that you do, full-time track announcer at Bradenton, and you announce all over the Southeast. I mean, you announced 2 weeks ago up at Gainesville, Night of Fire, and other places. I don't know how y'all two do it. Gee whiz, man.
Gotta keep busy somehow. Gotta keep the hustle going. That's what we always say. So
that's true. That's true. You got to keep the hustle going. But like Mitchell and I always say, just let us know if there's anything that we can do to help promote, to help share your information, not only about your business, but about Leadfoot City and also about your podcast. We encourage everybody to follow and to support them. And just like everybody that's been super nice to us and following, supporting us also. And you're going to enjoy talking to Zach next week.
Good deal.
This week. You're going to enjoy talking to him. Real down
to earth. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. Mitchell?
And I just want to remind everybody, if you came on late and to catch the show, you can always go back and watch it on Facebook, YouTube. And also, Robert's been working hard behind the scenes, and he's got it set up on Spotify. So this will end up on Spotify as well. Mm-hmm. And so we're using that outlet. And really appreciate everyone who came on tonight and watched. We are continuing trying to get more guests on. We were going to try to have Paul Lee and Christian Ballin on this Thursday night, but with Pomona, right around the corner, they've been at SEMA this week. So I talked to them actually today, and we're going to push that back to December the 5th, just a week before PRI. I think it's a really good point to have them in because, of course, Paul Lee with McLeod and also with FTI, it'll be kind of like a wrap up from SEMA and what's going to happen at PRI and of course their season this year and how well they have started performing at the end of the year and making big changes. I tell you, out there in Vegas, man, that car was like a bracket car. I mean, it was 380 every time you turn around, and unfortunately they couldn't quite put together a 380 run in the final, but if they would have, Paul Lee probably would have picked up a Wally at the end of the day. So just really looking forward to that. Someone asked me what happened to 7 o'clock. What we were trying to do was give Marco a chance to be able to come on. He had just got in from work, so we was trying to allow for that. And unfortunately, when he tried to get on, it it wouldn't let him. He was having some technical issues, so he joined us by phone. So, if, like I said, if you're just catching this, please feel free to go back on Facebook and watch it, or YouTube, or catch it later on this week on Spotify. But I want to thank you, James, for joining us, and Marco as well. Really had a great time this afternoon.
Thank you guys for having us, and we'll see you at the track.
All right,
Absolutely,
sounds
James.
great.
Thank you very
Sounds
much.
We'll be looking for that pro mod.
I'll send you the picture, Robert. You'll like it.
I'm telling you got to send it to me, but Ricky Bobby style. I'm telling you, the whole windshield. You're gonna blow it up, man. The
sure.
internet, that is. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good night, buddy.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No problem. Take care, James.
All right.
See you now, buddy.
I tell you what a great show. And unfortunately, I felt bad, Marco, not being able to come on in person. But hey, we try to do what we can do, and got him to call in and got a lot of information on Leadfoot City. It's going to be a facility that's going to host a lot of different things, like he was going over, not just a drag racing track. And I think it's really neat, getting the Power Wheels out there, and his support for the junior dragster class and having a school. And of course, James always bouncing back and forth, doing announcing down in Bradenton. He's done some at Gainesville. He's going to do some at Leadfoot City. And of course, Shark Bike Race Fuels. Just two terrific guys to have on tonight to go over two different things. Their podcast, Drag Racing Weekly, and Leadfoot City.
Absolutely. Yeah, them with the Drag Talk Weekly podcast, and then Shark Bite Fuel and Racing, and then Leadfoot City, and then the junior drag racing school and everything. They got their hands full. But it's always really cool listening to them, because, they're both really down-to-earth guys and racers themselves. So with a lot of experience between them. So it's always fun listening to them. It's always fun talking to them. And, and he's got me more curious and interested in Leadfoot City. I'm glad he clarified up some of the rumors that actually I've heard and read in some places, but I'm glad that he and James have clarified a lot of it, so we can just go online and sign up our name, basically, and we can go, so look forward to trying that at some time. Look, going to another track that I've never been to.
And I tell you, this week is been a very busy week. Of course, SEMA was going on, and unfortunately we wasn't able to make it out there, but we're looking forward to making it to PRI. Man, that's going to be a lot of fun, interviewing people with manufacturers, racers, and all sorts there. But also this week, don't forget, it's the NHRA finals in Pomona. And I tell you, all Austin Proc has to do is qualify, and he'll win the championship in funny car. Looking at pro stock, it's coming down to the nitty gritty. Aaron Stanfield's 31 points ahead of Dallas Glenn. It's going to be, everyone's going to be watching those first couple of rounds and see where each of the drivers end up at. If they can make it to the semifinals, it's very possible that, Aaron's going to walk away with the championship there.
Well,
and it's really tight in Top Fuel. And then, of course, over in Pro Stock, it's going to be pretty much between Gage Herrera and Matt Smith. They're going to be duking it out. And Matt's got to have a couple of things go his way for him to win, but he's not mathematically out of it.
I agree. Basically, speaking of Pro Stock, it's going to depend if they're both on the same side of the ladder. Hello, Chad.
Yes, that's
if they end up on the same side of the ladder, that is a lot of Russian roulette's not the right word, but their chances are very slim. Okay, of catching up if you're on the same side of the ladder, whereas you have a better odds if you're on the opposite side of the ladder. Of course, you got to do your job to meet them in the final. but nevertheless, numbers wise, it's probably best for you. I mean, there's two ways to look at that. It's either like going, hey, bring them on first round. We're going to settle this right now. Or stay away from them and play the odds and hope somebody else takes them out and you do your job and you stay in. So,
well, I think both cars are going to qualify very well. And I had wrote an article early how important those little bonus points are for qualifying in the top three. And that's actually helped Aaron Stanfield a little bit. And, of course, with Dallas Glenn going out first round there in Las Vegas. And you can't leave out Greg Anderson because he is sitting back there in the third spot, just licking his chops, just waiting for either one of them to mess up. And I know Dallas and Greg are teammates, but I mean, this is for the championship title here, and it's all for all. It's not going to be team orders going on, but whoever's the best at the end of the day on their side to have the chance to raise that Wally at the end of the day and win that title.
Oh yeah. It's yeah. Now you see, Chad, I feel the same way. I mean, we've all been there, and it's like the 1 year when I was fortunate enough to get track championship, it would come down to me and Bart. Well, we settled it second round. It's just the way it fell. Where a lot of people are ducking and diving, not doing it, but I'm talking about. A lot of people are ducking, diving, trying to pick who and where they line up. I was up in the staging lanes and wide open lane. Bart come around the corner. He didn't hesitate and pulled right up there and just happened to land up us together, even with pulling the buy out front. And it is what it is. And we ran,
right.
And that is what it is. And, but it's also what makes it exciting, especially when it comes down to the last race or two. You see people hunting each other, looking to get them first or second round or both, intentionally. And, so it makes it interesting. It definitely makes it interesting. As long as all your buddies aren't lining up to get you paired up a certain manner, as long as you ain't doing that mess, I think it's all right. It makes it fun. So, but in the professionals, I mean, I know they're not trying to position themselves on the qualifying ladder. They're just trying to get up as high as they can anyway.
Right.
Sure.
Well, and you get those little bonus points, for qualifying 1, 2, 3. So all that plays a big factor. And, and the other thing is top fuel. Wow, it's been an amazing season. A lot of back and forth all year long. And so you got Justin Ashley going in leading over Antron Brown by 44 points. And then you got Sean Langdon only 1 point back behind Brown, just making it a really tough situation there. So any of those three can actually come out as a champion at the end of the day.
And Sean hates it when he hit the block and took a tire down because he had the round. And but he was a racer and a driver on top of that, a heck of a driver. Okay, so it just sucked him over there, and he tried to get off of it. It just sucked him into it. But you wouldn't think the block. He obviously had to run over something there on the track to pick up, the tire to cut it down. But
that or something fell and caught the tire off of his car. We have seen it, several times that something may have not gotten tightened up and fell out of the motor. It could have been a valve cover bolt that hit the tire just right to cause that. The really good thing is there wasn't a whole lot of damage done to the dragster, and he kept it off the wall. And
he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
he did a phenomenal job driving. Period. But I know you get to see it on his face when and of course they stick a mic right in his face right after it, and I'm like, come on. For any racers, like, come on, give him some time.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes to.
Yeah. Let him walk it off, okay. But I feel that for anything. It's like going, come on, how do you feel? What do you mean, how do I feel? If I could pick that car up and throw it, I probably would at the moment. But But like I said, this time of the year is what really makes it exciting. And then we have a lot of Winter Series races coming up. We just had the Fall Brawl. You know what I mean? You got the Mini Million coming up here shortly. Got the New Year's race coming up. You know, there's a lot of racing going on between foot brake race. There's one going on in Alabama. There's one going up in Piedmont, I think, Thanksgiving. So there's a lot going on. And Gainesville still has a lot going on between tests and tunes and other things and other events. Like I said, the Mini Million is coming up at Gainesville here,
Right.
Real short.
Yeah, we're going to try to get Dave Connolly to come on with his wife and talk about that ahead of time, if he's able to. I know he's doing the crew chief duties this weekend, and hopefully trying to win a championship with their team at KB Titan Racing. One thing I want to mention, a lot of people might not know this, but Stephen Bell, he will be racing for Elite Motorsports in 2025, and he will make his debut at the Gator Nationals. And then the plans is for him to race 10 races in 2025, if not more.
Yeah, I found that surprising when I read that. I was like, I was a little shocked. I was like, going, okay, that's really great. But is he also going to run shootout stuff also?
I don't know. I don't know what his total plan is. I mean, basically he could. I mean, Aaron Stanfield has ran over there factory stock and factory X while driving pro stock, so he could.
Right. So,
but maybe we could try to get him on the show and talk to him and see what his plans are for 2025.
I hope so. I hate seeing a class deteriorate. And shootout cars will deteriorate if people keep moving on to other classes, or factory X will deteriorate, or you get the idea. And I know that's true for anything. You can say that true for any classes. You pull out a one. No, they're okay. And so it's just stuff like that. I don't know if you can hear the girls or not.
Yeah, I hear them meowing.
Okay, they're demanding to be fed. That's okay. It's okay. The little one was walking around my feet, getting ready to jump up here. I'm like, stop it! No. And but no, like I said, it's you know what I mean. I hate seeing class deteriorate, especially shootout, especially Hemi shootout stuff, especially factory X stuff. You want it to continue to build. But I mean, people get opportunities to move up to pro stock. I can't tell them no. You know what I mean? If there's more money to be made, let's say it costs the same as far, I'm talking about to field a car between the two classes, then it obviously makes sense to go where the media is at. That part's a no brainer. It's like limited drag radial versus running, an extreme 275 car, or something like that, or even a radial versus work car. If they're equivalent on price, it's kind of like, go where the money's at.
Right.
If you're going to do it, it's not necessarily where your heart's at, but, go where the money's at. And, but, to each their own, whatever makes you happy. But anyway, look at
a great opportunity for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say no to that opportunity. And now also you were talking about, coming down to the Wireland Championships. Also want to congratulate Monty Bogan Jr., who sealed up the Division II Super Stock crown and also the Division II Comp Eliminator crown in the same year, this year. So, congratulations to Monty Bogan Jr. And also congratulations to Joe Sorensen in his F-Stock Automatic 69 Camaro, who sealed it up at the semifinals, sealed up the semifinals in Vegas, and then won the national event on a heads-up final round. You got to see the video. It is impressive. It is impressive. So
yeah. Unfortunately, the drag racing season is pretty much winding down. But it also gives us a lot of opportunity to bring a lot of these people on as guests and talk to them why they got a little bit of downtime and stuff. Because I tell you what, it doesn't take long for March to roll around, and especially you're talking with the pros, it doesn't take long for it to roll back around for them. The months go by really quick. And of course, the sportsman racing, it starts back pretty early in February for your Lucas Oil Series. So, especially down here in the South, it may take a little while up there in northern divisions, but it does get started a little early down here in the South. And I know there are a couple of changes for Division Two this year that they will be running. I think at Rockingham twice, and where else twice, Robert?
Let's see. They're doing Orlando. No, yeah, they're doing Orlando, doing Gainesville, South Georgia.
It may be South Georgia twice.
I think it's South Georgia twice, Rockingham twice, but they don't have Reynolds this year. They don't have Bradenton this year.
Right.
And I'm really surprised over that. I mean,
the division director, he explains it, so you can actually go on Division Two's Facebook page, and it will tell you what's going on. And they're not just staying stuck on that. They're still working, and there may be possibly something else happening for Division Two. So they're not totally abandoning it, but they are still working.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's only 4 tracks, and I was going to say Galat, but Galat changed associations. They're WDR right now, I think.
That is correct.
So you can't have an event there. As far as for a points race, but I agree. I don't know the reasoning, but I just hope that it picks up.
They may be working on something for South Carolina Dragway. That's another place that's possible they could probably fit in a division race, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they don't pay us the bucks to figure that out. So we just
pass on the news.
Yeah, we can armchair quarterback all day long about this and that, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So we have to leave it up for the for Cody and all that stuff to figure out, and we just have to support it as much as we can.
That's right. And if you got a question, very important. If you got a question, talk to the director. Don't go to Facebook and just start.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
find out what's really going on and talk to Cody and he'll explain everything in detail for you.
Exactly. Don't start on blast. I mean, you don't get anything resolved with that. But it is what it is. But hey, I wanted to go back to something you said just a little bit ago about the podcast. Everybody, we wanted to thank everybody for supporting us by continuing to follow us on Facebook page, On the Spot Motorsports Media on Facebook, On the Spot Motorsports Media on YouTube, and also we've started a Spotify channel, On the Spot Motorsports Media. So we're continuing to put past podcasts on there for you to be able to listen and watch. Okay, so you have the option to do either or both. So that if you missed one, you can go back, you can listen to it like you're doing your workout or whatnot like that. And right now, I think we have about 12 on there and working through there. It takes me a little bit. It's a process, but getting there. And that this podcast will be uploaded by this week. And so you'll be able to go back and listen to it. But we ask you to go on there, and if you like it, to follow us on that too. We're just it was suggested to us earlier to reach out on this platform. So it's taken some work, but we've been able to establish this platform just to try to get these interviews out, so you can hear all the interesting people that we talk to, the interesting places that people race at, their history, their products, and stuff like that, and be able to enjoy it as much as we do. So I just want to tell you thank you, and also thank you for supporting Simpson Competition YouTube channel and also Simpson Competition Facebook page. Appreciate it very much.
Well, until next time, we appreciate you, and we'll see you then.
Have a good night, everybody.
Reliability to drive thousands of miles. Confidence for those who fly high. Redline oil products give you the power to crush the competition. And a track record of being the best. Redline oil products. You push it to the limit, we'll protect it.